Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been doing well. Today's video is going to be about the HERMES ARCON bag, and I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name of this bag, to be honest. I've heard it be pronounced a variety of different ways on various videos and platforms. When I bought it in Hawaii, the sales associate didn't even know how to pronounce it. I had to show him a photo, and then he was like, oh, I know which bag you're talking about. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to call it the ARCON bag. I will link to the video in case you missed it, but I did reveal this in my What I Got from Hawaii video, which was in mid-March, I believe, and I have used this bag a few times now, and I do really like it. I do have some pros and cons I want to go over with you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I purchased this in Hawaii in March, and I was just so lucky that they had this bag in stock. This is the exact color and hardware combination that I had wanted, and when I tried it on, it was just love at first sight. And I feel like that rarely happens to me, like especially for purchases that are probably over the $5,000 range. I personally really need to think about it because that's a lot of money for me. Let's be honest, even for bags kind of in the $3,000 range, I need to think about it a lot. Like I need to really want it for a long time. I need to be constantly checking reviews and photos on Instagram and be dreaming about that bag for a long time for me to pull the trigger. So for me, this was kind of an impulse purchase a little bit. I had seen photos of this online. I was definitely intrigued by it, but you guys know with Hermes, you have to be ready to pull the trigger because you just don't know when you're going to be able to come across something like that again. And even for non-quota bags, I do feel like this is the case because there are so many varieties of sizes and hardware and leather colors that it is pretty rare to go into a store and find what you're looking for. And again, I'm talking specifically about non-quota bags. So the fact that when I walked into the Waikiki store and I asked about this bag and they had it, and this was the only one they had, and it was in black leather with gold hardware, and I tried it on and I fell in love, I was just kind of like, I think I gotta do it. So in that sense, it was a bit of an impulse purchase for me. So let's go into the features of the bag. So I'm gonna bring it up close so you guys can see that beautiful Togo leather that is this part right here, as well as the backside right here. And then the handle, you can see is smooth. I believe this is Swift leather, and it's kind of this like one piece of leather that goes all the way down, and the handle goes down here. You can adjust the handle, and it has this really beautiful large buckle, and the holes are numbered. So I wonder if you guys can see that. So that says 5, and then it goes all the way down, and then you can see, might be hard to tell, but you can see that the longest setting is listed as number 1 right there. So it's pretty subtle, and you can see the numbers stamped in. And it is kind of one piece of leather. It is stitched right here, but then it goes all the way around this way. And then the other side of that stitch starts behind this. So it is attached to the side of the bag, and this goes all the way down, and this part is one piece of leather. So it's really nice how they did that. I think it's a really beautiful feature of the strap. Now, the shape of the bag is in this kind of like rounded shape at the bottom, and so you can see that the sides are curved to create this circular bottom right here. And there are a couple things to note about this. One, I love the way this looks because I think the curved bottom really creates a feminine silhouette, and it's just very pleasing to look at, if that makes sense. However, one of the cons with this, and with any bags of this shape, whether they're crescent shaped or moon shaped, any kind of bag with a circular bottom that's a little bit more rounded and a little bit more curved, you are just not going to be able to fit as much as if you had a rectangular or kind of a more square shaped tote bag, just because the edges come in and that really does limit the capacity. Now, this is still a great size bag, don't get me wrong. You can fit all your essentials and some. You would not be able to fit a laptop in here, but you could probably fit an iPad or a Kindle. I would say just keep that in mind. It really is going to depend on what you're going to use this bag for. I probably don't think I could use this as a work bag, to be honest, because I need to carry a little bit more items with me to the office. But just as a everyday grab and go weekend bag, like I feel like this really fits that bill. So to go into the front side a little bit, it does have a really interesting design. So there's this piece of smooth leather right here, and it has this really beautiful piece of hardware that's like, it's a functioning hook, and it says Hermes right there. I think it's a beautiful design feature. However, I don't know if I'm actually going to use it for anything. As you guys know, I use key pouches for my keys, so I'm probably not going to hook my keys on here, and also I think that would look kind of weird. So I don't know, I'd be curious to see how other people are styling this bag, but for now I'm just kind of leaving it plain. And I do really like the fact that it has an exterior pocket. So you can see the trim is in smooth leather right here, and the zipper pull as well is in that smooth leather. And on the inside, you can see that it is lined in canvas, and the pocket goes pretty deep, like it goes all the way right there. So it would be able to fit your phone. So here is my phone case, and it goes all the way in, and you can zip it up as well. You could also fit something like a card holder, transit card, something kind of flat and slim would fit perfectly in this pocket. So I love exterior pockets. I'm really happy that this one has one. The back is pretty plain. It's just that beautiful piece of Togo leather, no bells and whistles. And you can see there's a little bit of exposed stitching right here, and that is just the label. So I'm gonna turn this back around, and you can see it says Hermes Paris, made in France, in that beautiful gold lettering. The inside is pretty plain. It is unlined, so the interior is suede. However, you can see that this part is where the outline of the pocket is. So the outline of the pocket is in canvas, so you can see that little part right here, but the rest of the bag is just suede lined. So one good thing about that is that does make this bag pretty light for what it is. For an all leather bag, the fact that there isn't any extra lining on the interior does make this more of a lightweight bag. And the adjustable handle is really, really great. I love the giant gold buckle. I think it is so beautiful and just creates a little bit of a statement for this bag. And I currently have it on the shortest setting, which corresponds to the number 5. And here is this little strap. So in my last video, a couple of you actually pointed out, because when I was unboxing it for you guys, I didn't actually tuck the strap into this part, and a few of you definitely caught on that and mentioned it, so thank you for saying something. I was just way too caught up in the excitement of showing you guys the bag that I completely forgot to tuck the strap in. So if you want to adjust this handle, basically what you do is that you untuck the strap right here, and then you can just unbuckle this by taking this out, and then you can adjust the handle. And then here's what it looks like on the longer setting right here. And so I just moved it to the number 1 setting right there, and then you should just tuck it in like that. So there is the strap again, and there it is on the longest setting. And I will do mod shots later so you guys can see. I personally have really been liking it on the shorter setting myself, and that's kind of how I've been wearing it. So there's that. This bag does have a pretty slim profile, which I really like because it fits very comfortably over your shoulder, and it just doesn't bulge out too much, which I really appreciate. All right, so let's do just a quick what fits or what I would carry in this bag. So I've used this a few times, and I have to say that I do really like the capacity of it a lot. Part of me wishes it could fit a little bit more, but that being said, it still fits all my essentials and then some, so that's totally fine. So it does fit my long wallet right here, and I don't need to downsize, which is great. And also fits my mini pochette. And I have to carry my aligner case with me right here. I have a little sunglass case right here, and this one holds my Celine Sunnies, which I love. I have my favorite hand sanitizer and my keys, as well as a tote bag. And then the phone I'm gonna put in the outside pocket. And here is the bag. Now, I have to say, you do need to be careful not to overstuff it because I do feel like it could get misshapen. So you might need to play a little bit of Tetris just to kind of get the items to fit in a way where it doesn't feel overstuffed. And it does give like a little bit of black hole vibes. Now, it's not big enough where things are going to get super lost, so that's kind of a good thing. But because of the dark interior and just the number of items I have in here right now, and sometimes when the shoulder strap is on the shortest setting, which is generally how I like to carry it, when you have it on your body, it can feel a little bit difficult to like find the items that you're looking for. So you kind of have to take it off your shoulder and then kind of rummage through the bag, if that makes sense. So the other con about this bag is because of the curved bottom, it doesn't really stand up on its own. Like even with stuff in it, it just kind of falls down. So for some people, I feel like that could be a con. The other thing about this strap is I do really like the strap because it's nice and thick and it really feels comfortable on your shoulder. However, one of the things about a strap like this is that bags that tend to have one thick strap versus two thinner straps can mean that it's a little bit harder to get in and out of your items just because the strap tends to get in the way of the opening, if that makes sense. So if you have a tote bag that has two thinner handles, usually the handles are on either side. So like one would be here and one would be here, so that when you open the bag, the handles don't get in the way. But when you have a bag that just has one handle and it goes across the middle, it can be a little bit harder to get your items. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay, so here are my cons overall. I feel like it is very pricey for what it is, but obviously you're paying for Hermes quality. So with a bag that looks this big, I have the urge to fill it with more stuff. And maybe that's just me, but because of the way that the bottoms are curved, it just doesn't fit as much as you would want it to. And like I said earlier, when you have a bag that's one thick strap, it can be a little bit harder to get in and out of the bag. The pros, I love the design aesthetic of this. So where it takes away from practicality, the design piece is just beautiful. I love the silhouette. I love the way that this bag just looks overall. It's the perfect shade of gold hardware for me. I like that it's not too light and it's not too yellow. I love the swift leather handle and I love the Togo base of the bag. And even this little hook, even though I'm probably not going to use it for anything, I just love the way this looks. I feel like design-wise, this bag is absolutely beautiful. I love the slim silhouette, how it fits comfortably over your shoulder but doesn't bulge out too much and yet can fit a decent amount. Again, like the fit is going to be up to you, like in your lifestyle. I feel like this is a great everyday size. It can fit all your essentials and then some. You don't need to downsize anything like you would with mini bags. I love the fact that I don't need to downsize my wallet. That's a huge plus for me. And yeah, it just can fit a lot of things. The outside pocket is definitely a huge plus for me too. I like having my phone for easy access, or, you know, just anything that you wouldn't want to get lost in the shuffle of this bag right here, I feel like is really nice to put in here. So just the convenience of an outside pocket is great. And yeah, overall, I just feel like this is a very, very beautiful, well-made bag. I also love the fact that it's not super common. Most people, unless you know Hermes very well, you probably wouldn't know that this is an Hermes bag, and it's definitely more of a if you know vibe, which I really, really like too. You guys know for a couple months ago, someone tried to steal my Birkin off the street, and I feel very comfortable carrying this bag around because I just don't really feel like most people know what it is. Obviously, I'm still very careful, but the fact that it fits over my shoulder and it fits very well under my arm just gives me a little bit more security. And also aesthetically, since most people don't know that this is a super expensive bag, it's a little bit more carefree in that sense where I just feel more comfortable carrying it out. So that is about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would also subscribe to my channel, I would really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.